welcome to Sacred Consciousness with your host, artist, and paranormal researcher, Malia Rideout. I am on the Volcano Kilauea webcam. We're looking at Halimau crater right now, and it is erupting, and it is huge. I mean, this is huge. Oh my gosh. I'm monitoring it because I am really literally like 2 miles from the park, and I love my island. I want to keep track of all this beautiful stuff, and it just follows my whole thing about my research for consciousness so much. So it's a really great way to educate my family and friends and anyone who wants to come to this channel, because we're all family and friends here. And this is where we just talk about anything and we educate ourselves, and we get off of our cell phones for just a minute and we just kind of go, shoot, I need to learn something. R2D2's out there trying to let us know he's out there. My little parakeet, R2D2. Okay, anyway, I wanted to update you guys, please, on this volcano eruption. And I caught it when it first started erupting on the 25th of March at like 10 a.m., right before 10 a.m. I just got the inclination to go grab my my little webcam, my little iPad, and look at the webcam at Kilauea Crater. Just something in my consciousness said, do it. Right then, while I'm looking, I'm seeing little orbs flying out of the smoke, and it's really fascinating, and I start talking about it. And here comes this eruption, just starts to happen right in front of me. So it just shows us about consciousness and paying attention to our instincts, and it's all about that. And so I really just wanted to share with the world what's going on this day in Hawaii right now. And we're really excited about this new eruption. It just seems very historical, and it's April 3rd, April 2nd, sorry, April 2nd. I start tired sometimes because I'm just so busy. But April 2nd in 2025. And we're at about 8 o'clock in the morning. And I went to the volcano with my friend the other day, my very dear friend, and we checked out all the stuff, and we might post some of what we saw. It was a little bit dormant. She was sacredly, like, humbly, like, just bubbling, and it was kind of creepy because she had a rift right next to the hotel where all the hotel was, and it was bubbling right under where the hotel was, but the main crater was not even erupting yet. It was in between eruptions, but we were actually more worried about the hotel people being where it seemed to be more active on the other side of the crater. So we were just concerned for that. And I know park officials are aware of it, and they're monitoring it carefully so that we can evacuate anybody out of the hotel if we needed to. I just want everybody to be careful if you do go there. These things are a little bit unpredictable. Like I said, my house is 2 miles from this. That's why I monitor it. And I'm so glad I do, because she's been a gentle eruption. We haven't had any earthquakes really, hardly at all here. There's been a bit of fog hitting Kona and kind of going out to sea. So part of the island is getting a lot of fog. But look at how gorgeous these spouts are. She's just giving us land and showing us. I feel like she's really in a birth cycle right now, giving Aina and land to us. And she's a vent of, in from the core of the center of the heart of the earth. And she's just represents an earth mother, and the planet is very alive. So we're being able to really see her create. This is like how she has babies. But my theory was I was observing the smoke before she started erupting with this big eruption with the earth and the land and the material matter. My hypothesis was I was seeing beautiful little spiraling. I couldn't tell at first. I was like, what is that? Are they orbs? But they had like a consciousness, and it wasn't like just floating like a bubble. It was actually spiraling and then running around for a moment like it's just alive, and running out into just like along the lava, and then scooting off into like the air. It was really bizarre, like almost reminded me of like little souls being born or being set free. But very much I felt like it was like a birthing. If it's birthing the land, you know, maybe our volcanoes are actually helping portal in souls from other dimensions that need to come to this material plane and enjoy it and be, here. But what I really, really would like everyone to understand is that we can make this planet what we want. This planet can be all we need. We just need to pay attention to her because she needs our love and she needs our tenderness to protect her. And this gentle flow, living so close to my beautiful Pele volcano, has shown me that she's happy actually. I think she sees we're ready. Our consciousness level is actually ready to have this intergalactic communication, to not judge people for colors of skin or their territory or where they're from, for us to stop these wars and for us to just gain consciousness and not have to have bloodshed and be manipulated by these darker forces that we'll be talking about later, because I know the human being soul person does not want this to happen. Natural love, light beings, which are the true human template, are not destructive creatures. They can be manipulated because, manipulation can, you'll find, run very deep and it can be very harsh on whole populations, and whole planets can be destroyed. So we're going to learn about this and the cosmic wars soon. So I'm about to introduce you into the cosmic wars and how we survived them, and we made it past. It's already done. We've already made it. We've ascended, but we're in the process of ascending. So that's what this is. This is like a education on my theories and hypotheses on my ancient studies of our ancient histories that go back from the Mayans to the Vedic texts, from India to the Egyptian, in the Sanskrit scrolls that were found in 1945. And these go so deep into our history. These scrolls, these Sanskrit scrolls from the Dead Sea Scrolls, they uncovered so much information. And it even says in these scrolls that when you find the scrolls, it means consciousness has come to mankind. Now, that was in 1945 and they were suppressed. Things were suppressed and wars were made to suppress this information and these artifacts. And, it all ties into World War II and even then too. So we've been, having some intervention where they're trying to suppress this information so we can't become who we are supposed to become and know who we really truly are. That the human being is actually very divine being, very much like evolved and keeps evolving and can evolve into what we would call a superhuman. So we could live a long time, thousands of years, if we're cautious and we learn the dynamics of it. This doesn't mean an AI or a shot or something that makes you this all at once. This isn't some easy venture. This is about your conscious getting so high that you start to understand how nature works and how physics works, and that you are a material being, and how you ascend is actually physically possible in the material realm in a physical body. And we used to live for a long time to learn this, but where our lifespan was cut down. Every time a cycle event would happen, we were not ready, or we were manipulated to some relevancy to not be ready on purpose. And they just needed to catch on a little before then, and we finally had that happen. We caught on because of the past and because of a few very good characters that are going to be part of the story that I tell you about the cosmic wars, because it involves Admiral Byrd, General Forrestal. It involves so many dynamics. Hitler, World War II, how people were manipulated, the Bushes, all of the, George Soros. I mean, how these, King Charles, all these guys have a tie into these wars. These are interesting dynamics, and it's all in research if you actually uncover it. So, like I said, I'm just sharing my research with you because I'm an artist and I put things into particles and I make things make sense. Now that was a bird, actually, that wasn't a little orb or anything. I do know I can see birds because we're looking at a pretty far view here. So the other cam, I could see a little bit closer. It was a different cam. and this one's along the ledge, which is great because I think that other cam could have even gotten swallowed up. I hate to say it, the lava could have just literally eaten that other cam. So we had a really neat view that first part of the eruption before it got too much magma in there. But that other camera was close, and we could see really good into the orbs, you know, the things. That's a bird too. Just to let you know, those are birds, those little dark ones. So there is a difference. I'm a researcher. I don't just jump on, oh, fantasy, you know, because I want the truth. And I really go out and I do my footwork. We went out to the volcano that night, and like I said, it wasn't erupting, but we were concerned about the hotel, and it was a fascinating time. Me and my friend had so much fun, and it really educated us on nature and how nature works, so how we need to tie in with it. So I'm going to tell you the history of our planet, and it's going to go pretty darn deep. And I just want everybody who's watching to brace yourself because it's fun information. I would go to the park right now, but I cannot get access to my car until Friday. I might try to go tonight if it is accessible, but we're having so much activity. Sorry, guys, I really want you to see this. We're having so much activity right now that it may not even be safe to be in the park. Like, I'm pretty happy I'm about 2 miles away. So I'm kind of like, eh, I like that the webcams are there. And I see that the other webcam might have got eaten up. So, you know, that crater is crumbling away. So everybody, if you do go, be very careful, be aware. And if I go, I'm going to be very careful because I might try to go get a peek if I can get that car when my husband gets home from his hard day at work. And I will soothe him with my healing orbs. But anyway, back to our cosmic wars. We're about to go on a very long journey, and it's going to be like a Star Wars tale and Star Trek and The Matrix all combined. And I'll let you know, those shows are actually disclosure. We are being taught disclosure through our movies, things like that, slowly saturating us. And you know it's true. It's too dynamic and it's too real. And the dark parts of it get very, very dark into even why you may have heard of vampires and reptilians and greys and ETs that are not friendly, like them and the mantoids. All of them are, you know, they can become in an alliance. And I'm not saying all of them are bad because every being who has a soul can choose to be of the light, but they can be very dark, and they do work for dark forces oftentimes because they're not mammalian and they're not conscious at our level, and they want to transcend into higher realms, but they're just too physically set in their own egos and their own dynamics that are stopping them. So they're hijacking races and worlds, trying to gain knowledge on how to survive for long periods of time through non-good means. And that was what they were doing to this world. So we're going to talk about that. And it's going to be a little hard because, you know, it does involve, like I said, you know, these dark forces, and they use a very dark means to obtain their longevity. And so we're going to go into that. And so, you know, if there are children that are very young in the room or you're not ready for this information, you can go on to another video. But I am going to talk a little bit, and I'm going to start breaking into some of that. I will be warning you for the next video that we're going to start going deep and doing some deep dives. So stay on my channel if you want to learn about the cosmic wars and the Orions and all the constellations that are involved and all of the galactics that have come together to help us fight these battles of these dark forces that had come to this world and had infiltrated into our world. And we're about to take it over and destroy it through a nanotechnology that is very dark and very dangerous, and it is conscious. So it's like a virus, and it's like a very deep thing that we avoided. But, you know, some people died, and, you know, some people were turned into cyborgs, and some people are still here that are bad. So there are still some things going on. So we do need to be, you know, somewhat cautious with our words. But, you know, I don't fear anything. I'm talking in my free American research facility, you know, about, like, I research my shit. I go straight to the tablets. I go straight to my physical feet. I go to my spiritual realms, and I do my deep meditations, and I touch base with my higher self. I also touch base with my, you know, my ancestors. And I get very good communication when I get into very deep meditations. So we can always go into nature and we can learn to meditate at any time, and we can connect with our higher selves. That higher self always tells you it's your Jiminy Cricket, it's your consciousness. And once you obtain that consciousness, the open, portal to your 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 own ascension is basically what it is it teaches you how to cope with things and to become your superhuman self that you deserve to be, and to learn about your past and who you really were, and get over being lied to, because it's going to be just, it'll just make you upset, and that won't do us any good. We'll just need to get over all these things that have been, been done to us, and the fear. And now the fear is actually over, we still can learn, and we're always learning. And you'll have to excuse my little birds. That's just the way this is. I have to record these things at certain times that I can when I have my time, because I'm a busy girl too. And my little birds, they are fledging and they're so loud. I should just close my door. But anyway, I'm going to wrap this up now. So we're going to blast off in a minute, and we're going to do the Cosmic Wars. It's going to be amazing. You guys are going to love it. It's so exciting. It's better than Star Wars. It's actually better than Star Wars, but the Star Wars saga is very truthful. And I would say, go watch it again. If you haven't watched it since you were a kid, you might want to catch up after you hear what I'm going to tell you. All right. Aloha. And like and subscribe and tell your friends about sacred consciousness. And we're going to take this one thing at a time, because it's brace yourself, baby steps with this kind of shit. This is some deep diving stuff. So if you want, go to the next video and you're going to see, I'm going to name it the Cosmic Wars, and we're going to go deep into space, but back into Earth too at the same time. And you're going to be amazed by your hereditary and how you're linked, and everyone is linked in different ways and in the same way. So we're going to learn about that together. And I love you all. And thank you for joining my channel to learn about this with me. And we're all in this together, and be safe, and may the force be with you. Lava love.